So dear friends, it's hearty and warm welcome once again. Dear friends, in our today's lecture, we are going to learn the last topic of third chapter, that is chromosomal disorders. First of all, let me tell you briefly the meaning of this term, chromosomal disorders. The disorders which are developed due to the either addition or deletion of either one or more chromosome in the normal genome, in the normal genetic constitution of an individual. We all are known that in somatic cells of human being there are presence of 23 pairs of chromosomes, that is 46 chromosomes, of which the 22 pairs means 44 chromosomes are known as autosomes, and remaining one pair of chromosome is known as sex chromosome. If there is either addition or say missing of one or more chromosome from this normal number of chromosome, from this normal set of chromosomes, then it leads to certain disorders known as chromosomal disorders. ह्यूमन बीइंगच्या सोमॅटिक सेल्स मध्ये असणाऱ्या ज्या गुणसूत्रांच्या 23 जोड्या आहेत त्यापैकी 22 जोड्यांना आपण ऑटोझोम्स म्हणतो आणि उरलेल्या गुणसूत्राच्या एका जोडीला सेक्स क्रोमोझोम म्हणतो. मग या ठिकाणी ज्या 23 गुणसूत्रांच्या जोड्या आहेत त्यापैकी जर एक किंवा अनेक क्रोमोझोम त्या ठिकाणी ॲडिशनल आला किंवा मिस झाला तर त्यामुळे ज्या प्रकारच्या डिसऑर्डर्स त्या इंडिव्हिज्युअल मध्ये डेव्हलप होऊ शकतात त्यांना म्हटलं जातं क्रोमोसोमल डिसऑर्डर्स. जस्ट as I said that there are two types of chromosomes in the somatic cells such as autosomes and sex chromosomes. So whenever there is either addition or deletion in the number of autosome, it leads to some disorders known as the autosomal disorders. Whenever there is either addition or deletion of autosome, then it leads to the autosomal disorders, and if there is either addition or missing of sex chromosome, then it leads to the sex chromosomal disorders or sex chromosomal abnormality. We people have to study in all 3 different chromosomal disorders. The one, Down's syndrome, it is autosomal disorder, and 2 sex chromosomal disorders, namely Turner's syndrome and KLINEFELTER'S syndrome. So let us start first of all the study of Down's syndrome. Down syndrome is an autosomal abnormality. It is an autosomal disorder, and it was first described by scientist J.L. Down in year 1866, and that's why the name is given to it as Down syndrome. This Down syndrome is also known as trisomy 21. Down syndrome is also known as trisomy 21 because in this syndrome the sufferers show one more additional 21st autosome. One more additional 21st autosome. We know that generally the chromosomes are present in the form of pair, but here the 21st chromosome, 21st autosome is not in the form of pair, but there is one more additional chromosome, and thus the 21st chromosome appears in thrice. Therefore this condition is known as trisomy 21. Basically it occurs due to certain abnormality during cell division, mostly due to the non-separation or non-disjunction of homologous chromosomes during the meiosis. आपल्याला माहिती आहे की ज्या वेळेला गॅमेटोजेनेसिस होतं, गॅमेट्स तयार होतात, त्यावेळेला मियोसिस घडून येतं आणि होमोलॉगस क्रोमोझोमच्या पेअर्सचं एकमेकांपासून सेपरेशन होतं. प्रत्येक होमोलॉगस क्रोमोझोमच्या पेअर मधला सिंगल क्रोमोझोम enters into one gamete, another chromosome enters into another gamete. But if there is no disjunction, there is non-separation of chromosomes, then it leads to such different disorders or such different conditions. So now let us see what are the different symptoms of Down syndrome. Let us talk the different symptoms. The sufferers, they show poor skeletal development, poor or delayed skeletal development. Means there is no normal physical development of body, and it leads to the short stature, that individuals appear short. They show short stature in the sense natural height. Due to the poor skeletal development, the individuals appear short. Second symptom, these individuals show speech delay in child. There is delay in speech shown by that sufferer. There is mental retardation, or we can say there is learning disability. These individuals, they show learning disability. It means they show abnormal mental development, and due to which there is learning disability. They show difficulty in thinking and understanding ability. These individuals also show mostly mouth open, thick lips, protruding tongue, maybe the dribbling of saliva from the mouth. म्हणजे हे जी मुलं असतात की ज्यांच्यामध्ये डाऊन सिंड्रोम आहे, त्यांचं तोंड हे बऱ्याच काळ उघडं असतं. दे शो ओरल ब्रीदिंग, अर्थात तोंडाने ते श्वासोच्छ्वास करतात. देअर लिप्स अपियर क्वाइट थिक, ओठ जाड असतात. देअर इज अ प्रोट्रुडिंग टंग, तोंडातून जीभ बाहेर आलेली असते. अँड ड्रिबलिंग ऑफ सलायवा फ्रॉम द माउथ, तोंडातून लाळ गळत असताना आपल्याला दिसते. Also, they show lazy eyes. It is due to a fold of skin along the inner corner of eyes. Due to the fold of skin along the inner corner of eyes, it is also called epicanthal fold of skin, and thus their eyes appear quite lazy. Next, the thickening of the skin of palm and sole, अर्थात हाताचे तळवे आणि पायाचे तळवे यांची त्वचा ही जाड असते. These sufferers also show the congenital heart disease. Congenital in the sense since birth. जन्मजात त्यांच्यामध्ये कुठले तरी हार्ट डिसीजेस असू शकतात. They may show the thyroid disease. Also, immune retardation means immunity is also not well developed, and there is no sexual maturity, and thus these individuals are infertile, or we can say sterile. There is no any particular treatment for this disease, because these diseases cannot be cured completely, but for the betterment of their life, the physical exercise, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, and a special type of education is recommended only for their betterment of life. These all are the symptoms of Down syndrome. Now let us talk about the second disorder, that is Turner's syndrome. Sex chromosomal abnormality. Just now we have completed the study of Down syndrome. And as I told you that Down syndrome is autosomal disorder, and here we are talking about the sex chromosomal abnormalities. It means the abnormalities or disorders develop due to the addition or deletion of sex chromosome, or there is certain abnormal change in the number of sex chromosome. Two disorders we have to study. First one is Turner's syndrome. Let us talk about the Turner's syndrome. Turner's syndrome is also known as X monosomy. X monosomy. And it is caused in females due to the loss of one sex chromosome. Loss of one sex chromosome. We know that in females there is a pair of XX chromosome, and of which if one X chromosome is missed and only one X chromosome is present, then this condition is called as X chromosome. Therefore, such females, they show the chromosomal constitution as 44 plus X0. Though here I have written O, but actually it is 0. 0 represent the absence of another X chromosome, and as here one X chromosome is missed, therefore the total number of chromosomes in the sufferer of Turner syndrome are 45. Isn't it? The normal chromosomal number is 46. Here one X chromosome is missed. Therefore, the total number of chromosomes in such females are only 45. It was first of all discovered by scientist Turner, and that's why the name is given to it as Turner's syndrome. Now let us talk about the symptoms of Turner syndrome. These sufferers also show the short stature. Same. That is, these individuals, they appear physically dwarf, physically short. They show certain physical abnormalities such as failure of teeth to develop. Means there is no proper development of the teeth. Failure of teeth development. A very characteristic feature is seen in these individuals, that is webbed neck. Webbed neck. What does it mean? Let me tell you. Webbed neck means these individuals, they show a fold of skin along both the sides of neck. Fold of skin along both the sides of neck down up to the shoulder. याचा अर्थ मानेच्या दोन्ही बाजूने या ठिकाणी त्वचा असते की जी त्वचा सरळ खांद्यांना चिकटलेली असते, and that's why these individuals have difficulty to move their neck normally in different directions. It is called webbed neck. They show abnormality in the development of reproductive organs, abnormal development of reproductive organs, sex organs, and there is no menstruation. There is no menses. Ultimately, these females are sterile females, infertile females. These are sterile. These females cannot perform the sexual reproduction. Other symptoms are high BP. Usually these sufferers show hypertension, high BP, osteoporosis. It is the disorder of softening of bones due to certain reasons, say maybe due to the low level of calcium and certain hormones. These individuals again show obesity, that is fattiness, also congenital heart disease, that is the heart disease since birth, जन्मजात heart disease असणं. There is kidney malformation and malfunctioning. Kidney malformation and malfunctioning, it means there is no proper development of kidneys as well as there is no proper functioning of kidneys. So all these are the symptoms of Turner's syndrome. So here we have completed the study of second chromosomal disorder, but first sex chromosomal abnormality. Now let us move to the third disorder, that is KLINEFELTER'S syndrome. KLINEFELTER'S syndrome. It is also called as X XXY syndrome. XXY syndrome. Let me explain. It is caused due to one additional X chromosome in male individual. One additional X chromosome in male individuals. All of you are known, in male the sex chromosomes are X, Y. But here there is one more X chromosome and it leads to the KLINEFELTER'S syndrome. This KLINEFELTER syndrome was described by Dr. H.F. KLINEFELTER in year 1942. So the name is given to it as KLINEFELTER syndrome. Now let us talk about the symptoms. Phenotypically, the sufferers are male. Phenotypically, sufferers are male, but they show development of certain feminine characters. That is, though phenotypically these individuals are male, but then and then they show certain female-like characters. Phenotypically हे individuals मेल आहेत, पण तरी सुद्धा त्यांच्यामध्ये काही फेमिनाइन, याचा अर्थ फिमेल सारखे कॅरेक्टर्स दिसतात, and that's why these males are called as feminized males. Feminized males. Now let us see what are the characters and what are the symptoms. First of all, these individuals, they show quite tall height than the average, as well as they show quite longer arms and legs than the normal individual. यांची उंची सर्वसाधारण व्यक्तीपेक्षा जास्त असते आणि हात आणि पाय हे सुद्धा तुलनात्मक दृष्ट्या हे लॉंगर असतात. So we can say these individuals are taller than average and also show quite longer arms as well as legs. They show less developed facial hairs. Less developed facial hairs. Now development of facial hairs, that is beard and mustache. You know, it is secondary sexual character in male. But here, such secondary sexual character, that is the development of facial hair, is not seen. Why? Because there is low androgen level in the blood. Androgen, you know, these are group of male sex hormones. We have studied in previous chapter that testosterone is one of the important androgen. Due to the lack of testosterone or androgen, there is no development of certain secondary sexual character. These individuals show enlargement of breast. That is, the breast is comparatively more developed, just like the females. We know in male individual the breast is undeveloped, but here the breast appears quite well developed. Next, that is high pitched voice, like the females. High pitched voice. The penis is small. Also, the sex organs or gonads are undeveloped, and because of which these male individuals again are sterile or infertile. These are some of the major symptoms of KLINEFELTER syndrome. So here we have discussed about the one autosomal disorder, that is Down syndrome, and two sex chromosomal disorders such as Turner syndrome and KLINEFELTER syndrome. I would like to tell you that the Turner syndrome and KLINEFELTER syndrome both are very rare, and the number is near about 1 million per year in India. भारतामध्ये सर्वसाधारण 1 मिलियन पेक्षा थोडंफार कमी जास्त इंडिव्हिज्युअल्स हे टर्नर सिंड्रोम आणि क्लीनफेल्टर सिंड्रोमचे सफरर म्हणून त्या ठिकाणी आढळत असतात. As far as concerned with the treatment of Klinefelter syndrome, the hormonal medication is necessary. That is, the proper treatment can be given through the proper dose of male sex hormones, androgens, which can support them for the development of sex organs. So hormonal medication, this treatment is most necessary, most important. So here we have completed this topic. Now one more genetic disorder we have to study, that is thalassemia. So let us talk about thalassemia. Thalassemia. It is a hereditary blood disease caused due to the defective synthesis of hemoglobin, which leads to the anemia. So I said that thalassemia, it is hereditary blood disease caused due to the defective synthesis of hemoglobin, which leads to the anemia. All of you are known that hemoglobin is red colored, iron containing respiratory pigment present in the RBCs of human being and all vertebrates. Now the hemoglobin consists of two pairs of polypeptide chains. Polypeptide chains in the sense, you know, the chains of amino acid, and that two pairs of polypeptide chains are named as alpha chains and beta chains. It means chemically the molecule of hemoglobin consists of two alpha polypeptide chains and two beta polypeptide chains. The synthesis of alpha polypeptide chains is controlled by two closely linked genes, namely HbA1 and HbA2, present on 16th chromosome. Listen, I said that chemically the molecule of hemoglobin consists of four polypeptide chains or two pairs of polypeptide chains, of which two alpha chains and two beta chains. The synthesis of alpha chains is controlled by two closely linked genes. Closely linked genes means the genes which are present on the same chromosome and they are placed very close to each other, such as HbA1 and HbA2, and these genes are present on 16th chromosome, while the synthesis of beta chains is controlled by only single gene, namely HbB, present on 11th chromosome. Now, whenever it occurs the mutation or deletion of any one of these genes or all genes, it leads to the defective synthesis of hemoglobin and it leads to the disease, that is thalassemia. Now thalassemia is classified into two types, such as the alpha thalassemia and beta thalassemia. Of course, these types are depend upon the synthesis of which polypeptide chain is affected. If the synthesis of alpha polypeptide chains is affected, then it leads to the alpha thalassemia, and if the synthesis of beta polypeptide chain is affected, it leads to the beta thalassemia. Let us talk some of the general symptoms of thalassemia. First and major symptom is anemia. Anemia, it is the condition in which there is no enough number of RBCs in the blood, or there is no enough hemoglobin contained in the blood, known as anemia. There is pale yellow skin, It also affects the growth and development of an individual, that is slow development, slow growth and development of individual. All of we are known the function of hemoglobin is transportation of oxygen as well as carbon dioxide, but mainly the hemoglobin is responsible for the transportation of oxygen up to each and every cell, up to each and every tissue and organ. So whenever there is low content of hemoglobin in the blood, there is no proper supply of oxygen up to each and every cell, it affects all the metabolic and physiological activity. So here I have written there is slow growth and development. Also there is a dark urine, etc., etc. So these are few of the symptoms of thalassemia. The thalassemia, the individuals suffering through the thalassemia, they need the massive blood transfusion because they don't have enough RBCs, they don't have enough hemoglobin content, and therefore the regular and massive blood transfusion is necessary in the sufferers of this disease. So here we have completed this topic. Let us stop here. Thank you.